Going live. We are live. Wait, folks to show up. If anybody wants to join us this evening, we'll see. And if nobody wants to join us this evening, then it will be a pretty short live stream. But I hope somebody will join us this evening. All right, there we go. There's some dudes showing up. Hello, Mike Lewis. Hello, Cam, April, Bob, Matt. Good evening, all. We will do a proper introduction here directly, and I want to try an experiment. Hello, EC Trucking, Terry Bradshaw, Carmen, Harshman Hills, Marianne. Good to see everybody. Hello from Canada. Hello from the U.S., Marianne. Man, this is crap. This is good coffee.
Everybody says it's buffering.
All right. Is it still buffering, or is it we back on?
No, there's still people saying it's buffering.
I am doing good. Suljo, did I say that right? Suljo? Man, I'm sorry if I screwed that up, dude. Good evening, Giovanna. Good evening, Bill. Hello from Kentucky, or Kentuck, as we say in the hills. All right, everything good? All right, I want to try something real quick here as an experiment type thing. I've got this little microphone thing, doodad, with a little Don King wig looking thing here. I'm going to try to plug this into my phone to see if it improves the sound quality at all. So bear with me for 1 second. And see if I can get this thing plugged in here. I think it's plugged in. Does it sound any better? Does it sound any better, or is it worse? Hello, hello. Hello, burnt potato. Can somebody give me some feedback on the sound, please? About the same? No, not better? All right, well, let me get rid of it then. There we go. I unplugged the Mike Doodad Don King wig thing, and we'll just roll with the camera. And hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I went through like the settings on the phone, and I just can't find a way to make the microphone do stuff. So, okay. Hey guys, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land. And you guys totally know you're doing that with me right now. Download sound booster. All right, Brian, I'll look into that, man. Thanks. Gas can, my brother. Sergeant Mosier's wife. All right. Okay, guys. I don't really have any kind of a game plan for this evening, which is kind of how I live my life. I don't really plan. I just kind of do, you know. So, but I want to start by reminding folks, because I realize that this comes as a video after we're done with the live stream, and a lot of folks just don't want to sit through an hour video, and I completely understand that, and I can dig where you're coming from, because nobody wants to look at this for an hour. I mean, ooh. So I want to start with a reminder. This coming Saturday, March the 30th of 2019, here in South Point, Ohio, at a place called the Tackle Box, we are going to be doing our second annual Angler Hangout, which is a place where you, our YouTube viewers, can come and meet us and hang out with us, and just say hello, and we'll kind of, we'll have our boats there. My good friend Chris Souders, who is a champion cat fisherman, and just a super good dude. I mean, he's one of those genuinely good people. I mean, he just loves what he does, and he loves interacting with all the viewers, and he loves answering questions and sharing information. He'll be there There's going to be a lot of other good folks that are coming in. I'm hoping there's going to be some folks representing like Whisker Sticks, LED lights. I think maybe, uh, I don't know if Dustin is going to make it from D&T Customs, but there's going to be all kinds of folks coming in that are going to be there with us at the hangout. We're going to be able to show tackle, the tackle box itself. The man who owns it, Greg, he got in some specialized catfish rigs and tackle for us, and some like warrior cat rods, and I believe there's going to be some shattered cat rods coming in. Nice big pin reels, all that kind of stuff that we're going to have there at the hangout available. I am going to be leaving. I'm going to spend Thursday catching fresh skipjack so that I can offer fresh in the cooler, on ice, fresh caught skipjack will be there available at the tackle box right out of my cooler. There also is going to be, I'm going to have Giovanna sent me some of my shirts. Let's see. Is that not focusing? There we go. These are our 2019 Catfish sponsorship shirts. If you are interested in picking one up, this will help us run our tournament trail. And they are really nice shirt, very high quality. And of course, on the tag, as always, USA. And like I said, these are the shirts that we are selling to help me fund this tournament season. We're also going to have lots of goodies there to give away, just as giveaways. We're going to have some stuff from Rig Wrap coming in. You guys have seen me use Rig Wrap stuff before. We're going to have some Rig Wrap stuff to give away. Our Cadence affiliates are going to be sending us some rod and reels that we can give away. Some kids combos. We're just going to be all at 11:30. Chris Souders is going to do a demonstration on how he throws his cast net to catch shad and other kinds of bait. It's going to be a good time, and it's just going to be a good time. As far as the fresh bait goes, I do have a small supply of styrofoam coolers that I will be bringing with me. I can't give them away. I had to buy them, but you can buy them from me what I paid for them, and grab some ice. That way your fresh bait doesn't go bad. And we're just going to have fun, man. It's going to be fun. If you can't make it, these shirts, I think I saw somebody ask, are available on our website. Also, our contest ends on Saturday, March the 30th. That is the last day that you are eligible to enter the contest by purchasing an item from our website and sharing a picture with me on my Facebook page of you and whatever it is that you bought from the website. We're going to we'll let a couple of weeks go by before we do the drawing to make sure that everybody's order has a chance to make it to them. Because I don't want Giovanna to be stressed out on trying to get all this stuff out before the 30th. So we're going to give her a couple of weeks to make sure she gets the order done and it has time to ship, and that person has time to receive the package, take a picture, and share it with me on Facebook. That will enter you into our giveaway for the Silverfire cast iron skillet that I used to do my flip when we were making the omelet. It is a very high quality cast iron pan, and I just love the crap out of mine, and I'm sure that you will love the crap out of yours if you are lucky enough to win it. So there you go. All right. Is there anything else that I need to cover right off the bat? I'm asking as my good friend the Frog Toad would say, my second brain. I'm asking my second brain over here. So. All right, that's this upcoming event. Wayne is in the house. Ricky Wallace is in the house. Ricky Wallace. Wayne, Javon is in the house. Justin's Fishing Fetish is in the house. I did see that Ryan the Outdoorsman and Justin Fishing Fetishes is going to be at the hangout as well, sharing some love and hanging out with all of us. Harley Neal, Cadence, yes, they are going to be giving us some rods to give away. Hopefully Harley Neal will be there, Uncle Harley. Hello, Forrest. So, yeah, we're going to have a great time, and I do think, Wayne. Hey, Wayne, this looks just for you, man. Is that Blue Magnum? Is that what they call that? Magnum? So, anyway, all right. Okay, moving along. We had a question. Actually, it was a comment question on one of our videos about have we ever had to bottle or slash hand feed kits, which are the baby bunnies. And yes, we have. Sometimes um, sometimes there are instances when a mama rabbit or a doe will have either more kits than she has teats available to care for, or she just turns out to be a really crappy mom that doesn't want to take care of her kids. So when that happens, you can get a small, like a little small syringe type of a plunger or a little eyedropper, something that's got something that has milliliter markings on it or cc markings, because milliliters and cc's are very, very close in amounts. And when you're feeding your bunnies, I mean, you don't got to be exactly precise to them. You know, they'll let you know. They'll let you know when they're done eating. Um, and we would recommend, and keep in mind, okay, please, disclaimer, I am not a rabbitologist, right? I am not a critterinometrist or any of that kind of crap, right? I'm just a dude that raises rabbits and has had to feed some rabbits in the past. Goat's milk, if you have access to fresh goat's milk, that is what I would recommend as a closest substitute that you can get to what a rabbit would produce. If you don't have access to any kind of a fresh goat's milk, I don't think I would use fresh cow's milk. I think I would probably go to your local hillbilly store, Feed and Seed, Tractor Supply, Rural King, and find a baby powdered milk supplement substitute that you could mix according to the instructions on the package that you're purchasing, and then feed them. Draw some milk up into your little use a plunger. Draw some milk up into your syringe, and one at a time, you're going to flip the little bunny onto its back and kind of hold him up at an angle. All right, we're going to imagine this little bunny is sitting in here like this. Here we go. This here is going to be baby bunny. All right, so we're holding our bunny kind of like this at an angle, and then we're going to take our dropper and we're going to just kind of cradle it, and we're just going to barely squeeze that plunger just enough where the bunny can, on his lips, get it and start drinking it in. She's laughing at me because of my awesome effects here. So and then once the you can feel it in his little belly. And keep in mind, these are little dinky dudes, man. These are little dinky. They don't need like 3 or 4 ounces, right? Just a few milliliters or a few cc's until they are done and full. Their little bellies will be full, and they'll all of a sudden stop them. They won't be swallowing it. They'll just be kind of lapping at it, and they'll be running out of their mouth and stuff like that. You'll know when they're done. And sometimes that's kind of the some stuff that you have to do when you're raising rabbits. So yes, there will be times when you will have to when you'll have to bottle feed or uh, syringe feed. And please take the needle off of the syringe. You don't need, we're not trying to cram it, force feed them. Take the syringe. If the syringe has a needle on it, take it off, please, and just use the little port at the bottom of the plunger. That's all you need. Or sometimes they make little eyedroppers that'll have a little bit of some little bit of measuring measurements on the side of it, and you can use that as well. So there you have it. Somebody also asked. Well, they didn't really ask. They made the statement. Okay, I threw my doe in my buck's cage, and he did literally nothing. They wouldn't breed, and it happens sometimes. Sometimes the mood is not right. Sometimes it's too hot. Sometimes the doe is just not in heat. What are these? Mary just brought me.
Miracle nipples. They're meant for baby
Yeah,
bunnies.
these are called miracle nipples. Mary just handed me these. These will go onto the bottom of a syringe. And I'm sure you can do a quick internet search and find these. Then this is the part that where the little baby bunny would feed from. So like I said, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, if the doe is just not in heat, there's several reasons why they won't breed. A lot of times, if you put the doe in with the buck and nothing happens, then later that try it in the morning And then that evening you can go back and try again. And sometimes the mood will have switched, and he's had time to kind of woo her a little bit, and then if that doesn't happen again, then try the next day. And sometimes when the does get old, they just don't want to breed anymore, and it's just how it is. And always take the female rabbit to the male rabbit, right? Does are a lot more territorial, and they just don't want some stinky dude in their house, man. It's going to cause a fight. They will not breed, and they'll be all kind of mad, and they'll be thumping at him, and they just, how girls are, guys. They don't want some stinky dude in their space. They just don't want it. So, and I've had several people ask me that, and one dude just persisted. He just persisted. He's like, man, I can't get him to breed. I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. Is she ugly? I don't know what's going on, dude. I'm sorry, but I don't know. For some reason, he doesn't like her, and it just is what it is. Sometimes, every critter is an individual, and if they're in there talking smack to each other through the cages, they're just not going to get it on, and it happens. What are you going to do? Try some Barry White music. Put a little, put your phone in there with a little fireplace scene on it and a little disco ball and love, a little dollhouse, heart-shaped love bed. Maybe that'll, brighten up the mood. I don't know. It does happen sometimes. So it just, yeah, it is what it is. And a lot of times it'll be also if the buck is getting old or if the doe is getting old and, they're just not in the mood. I don't know of any kind of rabbit Viagra or any of that kind of crap. It just happens sometimes. So
They can get heat sterile too in the summer.
yeah, we're in the summertime, and sometimes in the summer too, they'll go ahead and do the deed and actually breed, but the buck will be sterile. They call it heat sterilization, where when it gets so hot, he won't be fertile until it cools down a little bit because well, it's just nature's way of saying it's too hot to have babies. Wait a minute. Mm. Oh man, love my dessert coffee. Are y'all drinking a cup of coffee? Do I need to wait a minute and take a break here so everybody can go get a cup of coffee? New York, hello, of course. All right, is there any other questions to go through that I missed?
Somebody asked if you were going to bring Shad to the meetup.
I'm still trying to find Shad. It's Shad right now in my part of the world are hard to come by. The ones that I have seen, they've been deep, and I haven't been able to get to them. So why am I Ryan? Because it's a little chilly outside, man. You know that. I heard that Ryan may be missing a few appendages after his time on the Ohio riverbank this morning when it was really cold. My buddy Ryan went out to try to see if there's any fish available yet, and it was pretty cold this morning, bro. So Finnish people drink coffee like it's going on. Maybe I got some Finnish in my blood somewhere. Then maybe maybe that's why I like coffee. Maybe I'm a little bit Finnish somewhere along the line. All right. Does anybody have any kind of a question or anything that they need to know if there's any kind of a pressing matter out there? Hello, Andrew. No, man. Thank you for watching, bro. Okay, stop it with the whole. All right, look, you guys. I do not do you any favors by making videos. You guys do me the huge favor and the honor of taking your time to watch my videos, and I really appreciate that. Karam Edward, or I hope I said that correctly, rabbit diarrhea. There's a reason why the rabbits get diarrhea. Most of the time, it's coccidiosis. In our experience, what'd you say?
Well, if the feed change is too much.
Yeah, if you have recently switched feed or switched them over to a lot of greens or something like that, sometimes that will cause some diarrhea issues. If you had a feed change, or if you started feeding them a whole lot of leafy greens and dandelions and stuff, sometimes it could be coccidiosis. And we made a video a couple of years back on how we treat for coccidiosis and the medicines and stuff that we use. You can look that up, and sometimes that is very helpful as well. But if it persists, you need to get on it because diarrhea for rabbits is a very bad thing. And make sure they are staying hydrated. They have plenty of clean, fresh water while they have diarrhea because they will also dehydrate very quickly. and that also equals bad things. So just keep a real close eye on that rabbit that has diarrhea. If it persists for more than a day, then you're going to be pretty sure that it's not the food change, or if you haven't changed your feed recently, start looking into coccidiosis, um,
Possible moldy hay.
moldy hay, any of those kinds of things. And that could be causing the issue because there's definitely something going on with the rabbit's digestive system when there's diarrhea present. And I would recommend cleaning the cage very, very often because if there is coccidiosis in the rabbit, it will be also in the poo and it will spread like wildfire throughout your cages and your other rabbits, which will be very, very bad. So unfortunately, this is something you're gonna have to really jump on and keep an eye on it and make sure that that rabbit's cage is clean. Make sure that the water is clean. And then if you have not made a feed change or any of those kind of things recently, start looking into how to treat for coccidiosis. So, my opinion, again, not an expert, just a dude. Okay, she's looking for another question. These, I'm still using my phone thing here, so and like every once in a while something will pop up, but it's not like everything that comes through doesn't come through on my phone. I still haven't figured out this whole technology computer thing yet. You know what? You guys remember back in the '80s when they said computers would make our lives easier? Whatever happened to that? Of course, I shouldn't say that. They do make our lives.
Okay, everybody's asking about Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck. I have not heard from Uncle Buck for a couple of weeks. I'm sure he's just busy, like he always is. He has his regular job that he works a lot. He works a lot of hours at his regular job. Now he has a second job that he has his own business blacksmithing, and you can keep up with that on his channel Uncle Buck's Forge. But he's blacksmithing a lot and selling a lot of items and has a lot of orders. And the rest of the time he's just sleeping. He's tired, and it is what it is. The last I heard, he was fine. All right, I don't have anything coming up yet. It's been a minute since anything come up.
Well, Brian Tinker wants to know what happened to your tooth.
What happened to my tooth? uh, should I tell that story? I think I've told that story once before on a video. Okay, well, a little bit of graphic content story. Okay, here we go. How I lost this particular tooth. Back when I was young and really stupid, uh, I was living a particular, not good lifestyle, so to speak. And I was hanging out in this little bar one night, and there were some guys up at the pool table that were clean cut with polo shirts on, and they were clean shaven. And I kept drinking, and I was at that time I was, uh, you know, uh, how am I going to say this, Gafkin? Motorcycle enthusiast. Yeah, we'll say that motorcycle enthusiast, right? So I was not clean cut and pretty at all. So I look at these four guys up there playing pool, and I'd have another beer, and the more drunk that I got, the madder I got. These pretty guys, I was just sure that they were like college jock dudes, that didn't belong in a biker bar. And the drunker I got, the madder I got. So finally, I got to the point where I'd had enough of these pretty guys in our biker bar, and I was just going to go run them out, right? So I walk up to that pool table, and I puffed up and I flexed, and I'm all, yeah, this and that. You guys, blah blah blah, and this and that, and you guys need to leave, and a fight ensued. And it turned out that these guys were not, in fact, college athletes. They were Marines. Not only were they Marines, they were in training force recon Marines, and yeah, they beat me like a redheaded stepchild, and I deserved it because I was the one who started the whole thing. They beat me up pretty bad, and they proved to me that night that if I really thought about it and concentrated real hard, I could in fact eat a cue ball from a pool table. And I haven't seen my two since. One of them's probably wearing it around his neck as a trophy. It was not a good night. That was one of my regrettable incidents from the past. I saw him back in there a couple of nights later after I kind of, stopped pooping blood and could stand up again. I went back to that place and they were still in there shooting pool. They were back in there shooting pool. They're like, "You back for more?" I'm like, "No, no, no." I, I just said, "I want to buy you guys a beer. I appreciate you not killing me. Sorry I was such a dick, and let's be friends." So and one of and they were kind of scratched up. One of them had a black eye. There was little scratches and this and that. But the one of them was like, "You know what, dude? For there's four of us and one of you. You did pretty good. You didn't do too bad. You earned our respect." And I said, "Well, I appreciate that. And again, thanks for not killing me." So there you go, Tobias. That is how. As much as I don't like to tell that story because that's one of them ones that it is what it is, man. Bad decisions, and now I'm living with the every day I look in the mirror, I remember those dudes. So,
Rollmeister says, is the snow melting later than normal where you live?
we didn't really get is the snow melting later than normal where I live. We didn't really get that we didn't really get that much snow here in my neck of the woods. In my area of the hills this year, we had a lack of snow. We had a lot more rain than we did snow. So there isn't any snow, and there hasn't been any snow on the ground here for a few months. So it just is what it is. I know that a lot of the snow melt in the Midwest is causing some serious issues with the rivers and stuff like that. So
Yeah, there's people down in Nebraska are getting flooded out.
yes, yeah. So let me have a. You know what? I feel I need to take a drink of coffee after having to tell that story. So United States Marines, respect. Yeah. Excuse me,
So David
Wayne.
said, how many hours a week do you spend keeping rabbits? Which is easier for new homesteaders, bees or rabbits?
Which is easier for a new homesteader, bees or rabbits? I can't answer that accurately because I've never tended bees. Rabbits, once you get them established, they're not all that difficult to care for. A little bit of attention in the morning, a little bit of attention in the evening, and then throughout the course of the day, as you're out mowing grass or tending your garden or whatever, pick them a few little greens, a little goodies, a dandelion flower, some clover flowers, and feed it to them. Depending on how many rabbits you have. I mean, if you have 100 rabbits, then you're going to be tending rabbits for most of the day. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on.
We have
Um,
30 out there and it only takes me about a half an hour.
we have right now we're at about 30 rabbits, and it takes between a half an hour and 45 minutes to tend them. So, and that's changing feed, water. The days that we got to clean the cages are going to be a little more labor intensive. The days you're cleaning out the barn and stuff, but that's only usually uh, twice a month, maybe. So it's just one of the things. But if you're only looking to raising, a couple of breeding pairs, then you shouldn't have to have more than 15 to 30 minutes a day of tending the rabbits. So
Now, Fran, Luck, and Flute, if the milk has to be body temperature like baby milk, yes.
Fran, does the milk have to be body temperature like baby's milk? Yes. Yes, there will
They're
usually
unable to maintain that.
if you can make it in the morning, say you're going to be feeding, and they need to be fed every well, I'd say 3 hours, every 4 hours. You want to go out and kind of tend them to see if they need to be fed.
With goat's milk, yes. With mothers, they
Uh,
only need about twice a day.
yeah, with goat's milk, if you're feeding them, if the doe rabbit is feeding them, then she'll only feed them like a couple times a day. If you are feeding them, then yes, the milk will need to be at least room temperature, maybe a little bit warmer if you can. Run it under some warm water, your thing to warm it up a little bit, and it'll need to be 3 to 4 times a day for a feeding.
Paul Brenner asked how pork chop is.
Pork chop is good, man. She's doing real well. She's I think she's the only person here that misses the mud. But she's still got her little mud hole down there that she likes to go and water in. She's doing good. She's just as happy and perky as ever. And I will, at some point, I will get out there and do an update video on some of the critters and give everybody a little quick some time with pork chop. So it we'll get out there and get her again on the video too. So
King Woodster's asked if you still have chickens.
do I still have chickens? As of this date, I do not. In about a week and a half, we will probably be getting a new batch of biddies. Our old hens stopped producing eggs like they should have, so we relocated our old hens to jars in the pantry, and now we are waiting. We're going to start all over again. We wanted to give our chicken coop area a couple of months to kind of recoup, get some fresh greens and fresh grass growing in there, and then we'll bring on a new batch of biddies or chickies or baby chickens, whatever it is that you want to call them. And we will have a new peep show going on here soon. And then we'll raise up a whole new bloodline of chickens. And I think we're just going to stick with basic Rhode Island Reds this year. We're just going to get Rhode Island Red pullets and go from there.
Mark Eldridge, did you ever fish Lake Cumberland?
Mark, do I ever fish Lake Cumberland? I have not fished Lake Cumberland, but I want to fish Lake Cumberland, and I plan on doing it at some point in the future. Specifically, I want to go down there and try to catch one of y'all's big old striped bass, man.
Annie wants to know where you get your baby chicks from.
Annie, we will probably be getting our new batch of baby chicks from our local Rural King store this year or Tractor Supply. If they don't have the chicks that we are looking for, or we decide to go with another breed, then we will probably order our chicks from where we have got them in the past, which is Murray McMurray Hatcheries out of Pennsylvania. You can do a quick Google search for Murray McMurray Hatcheries. They have very high quality chicks. They have really great shipping. Their chicks are in good shape and healthy when they come. If you have an issue, the staff is very knowledgeable. If you can call them and they answer your questions, and they're readily available. And I've had nothing but good experiences with all of my dealings with Murray McMurray Hatcheries. And that's just we ordered our pheasants from them, as a matter of fact, as well, when we was doing pheasants. So if we can't find what we're looking for in one of our local hillbilly stores, because here in where I live, we've got several hillbilly stores, some mom and pop stores that are feed stores that will have biddies coming up, and then of course we got a Tractor Supply and a Rural King. So that's probably where we're going to be going. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Forrest Smith wants to know the best advice for someone wanting to get started in rabbits.
Best advice for somebody wanting to get started in rabbits. Forrest Smith. I would say, man, start with a breeding pair and get used to having them and get used to how they're acting. I would start with a male and a female, keep them separate, and go from there. Breed them, see how long would you. I mean, we could sit here and tell you all day long how long it takes for the kits to be born, and how long to do this, and how the does will pull fur, and stuff like that. But when you actually do it and you actually see it with your own eyes on your own place in your own cage, it'll start to become really easy. So I would say start with just one of each, and go from there.
Somebody asked, start with babies. They are small. Younger would be better.
Yeah, I mean, you could, if you wanted to start with young rabbits, that would be okay. That would give them a chance to give them a chance to come up in a new surrounding and get to know you, and you get to know them, because all rabbits are individuals. Ooh, I have a half a frog in my throat. I don't have the whole frog in my throat because we probably already ate his frog legs earlier. But
Gravy's on. Lady B's on.
Gravy is on. Hello, Gravy. Hello, Lady B.
Outdoor Jason, are catfish biting in your area?
I haven't been fishing here yet in my own area. We have been waiting on the Ohio River to kind of get back down and under control. And now that it is going down, we are now waiting for the boat ramps and stuff to get open and for the mud to subside enough to where we can get close enough to the bank to fish. So I would say there's probably some smaller ones biting right now, but the big ones are not biting. We're waiting on the water temperature to increase to the mid 50s and the high 50s, and then it will. And then it'll be on like Donkey Kong, man. As long as the river will stay under control and the weather stays under control, we'll be able to do it. Oh, excuse me, please, guys. I got a tickle in my throat, and I can't get rid of it. Good night, King. King Woodster. Have a good night.
Wayne says it's supposed to be in the 70s on Thursday.
You know, for anybody who's looking at fishing here in our area, a good sign of when the catfish will really start to bite, and the bigger catfish will really start to bite, is when the bait fish start showing up. When you start seeing folks catching skipjack and shad, that's usually a good sign that the water temperature is where it needs to be for the fish to start pre-spawn feeding. That's water temperature is the most important thing. So, man, alive. That coffee will fix me right up. So, but I look for the water temperature to be in the mid to upper 50s. That's usually a good sign. That's when some of the bait will start coming in, and then the predator fish, catfish, and so on will be right behind me. So, I know, man. I know, Tobias. I know it, brother. I'm trying. I'm trying, and I've not yet been successful. But I will. The day will come, and I will be. So, if I missed anything during my hacking,
Tommy says, sure hope you're not getting that cold that's going around.
yeah, I know it. You know, one of my kids had that cold, and it kicked his butt. And I hope I didn't get it too, because man, I got things I got to get done. We don't have time to be sick. We just gotta, you just gotta bear through it and keep going. One of the benefits of living our lifestyle, there is no such thing as a sick day. You just gotta keep going. Wayne says he's sick right now too. All right. Have I missed any other questions?
Well, somebody asked, how do you know if you've had moldy hay?
You know, moldy hay, it's going to smell different. I mean, if you're familiar with the hay that you buy, and if you're familiar with the if you always get the same kind of stuff, your moldy hay will smell. It'll smell moldy. It will have a more of a musky kind of smell, like a dank basement type of smell. And it will have like when you're breaking it apart, there'll be a lot of dust coming off of the hay. So those are pretty good signs that you've got some mold, in the hay that you're trying to feed. And if you do have mold in your feed, then don't feed it, please. All right. Hello, Grampy Campy. I've seen a couple things pop through. Well, Mark, if there's an old saying, if in doubt, throw it out. I would much rather spend a couple of dollars on another bale of hay than to try to, replace dead livestock or spend a lot of money on medicine trying to get my stock back into back into shape. So, have I missed anything? All right. Does anybody have any other questions for us? Is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about?
Drink candy. How's life been treating you?
Life is good, Grampy. Every day above the dirt is a good day, man. I'm just blessed. I had a guy tell me one day, he's like, you know what? You're one of those real kind of the glass is half full kind of guys. And I said, man, I am the dude that's just happy to have a glass. So, that's just these days at this point in my life, with everything that we have gone through and survived, I'm just, I just love life, man. I get up in the morning and I thank God for another day, and He blesses us throughout the course of the day, and we go to bed at night in a home in a bed with full bellies. Everything else, in my opinion, is just gravy on the biscuit, brother.
Uh, Leaf skates, rule. Are you concerned about eating fish out of the river, pollution, etc.?
No, I don't. I don't. No, I know there are a certain amount of. Okay, the question was, am I concerned with eating fish from the Ohio River? I'm not. No, we don't eat enough fish. We eat fish out of the river a couple times a month, and it doesn't concern me as far as the pollution levels go. Now, there was a time when the Ohio River was extremely, extremely polluted, and everybody knows that. But the river is getting better. There have been some serious attempts over the last few decades to clean the river and to clean the water, and it's working. The water is clean, and I do not have any concerns about letting my family eat a couple times a month from the river. As a matter of fact, we do eat. We eat sauger and white bass and hybrid bass and catfish, and that's just I just does not concern me because well, Uncle Bill, before he passed away a couple weeks ago, Uncle Bill told me I've been eating fish out of that river for 92 years and I'm still here, and it wasn't the fish that killed him at 92. So I'm just saying.
Alicia asked, have you ever thought about raising crawdads and crayfish to eat?
No, we don't really need to raise. I mean, for eating,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
no. Usually our creeks and our small rivers and we have the strip pits up by Hanging Rock that are some of the shallower, or they're just full of crawdads. And if we wanted to have a crawdad dinner, we could probably find enough to eat. We just we haven't really done it yet, but we could if we wanted to. I'm confident that we could pluck up enough crawdads to make a meal if we needed to. All right, I still don't have anything coming through my.
Well, Louise asking you questions at the moment. They said thank
Uh,
you for your answering.
well, thank you for asking. Uh, Again, please don't say that I'm anything special or I'm any kind of extraordinary, because I'm really not. I am just a dude, and I honor you guys. I really appreciate you guys sharing your time with us, whether it be with one of our live feeds or taking time to watch one of the videos that we put out. That really means a lot to me. So I'm not. I don't believe that I deserve any kind of extra accolades for making videos. You guys deserve the accolades for putting up with my ugly mug and suffering through my videos. So, and I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. You guys matter. Each and every one of you guys matters to me. So,
Um, Somebody asked, you got any homestead conferences you're attending this year?
do I have any homestead conferences that I am attending this year? Yes, I will be attending the Great Appalachian Homestead Conference in Cookeville, Tennessee on May the 25th. I will be there. We're going to be talking about homestead style fishing, fishing in your cow ponds, fishing in your small creeks and streams as a form of subsistence, as a meat source to provide for your family. There's the creeks and the streams and the ponds can provide a lot of different kinds of meat for your family if you need to, or if you are in a position to where you are looking for some other sources of meats. Because there's fish, different types of fish, turtles, frogs, snakes, and all kinds of stuff that hang around that pond that you can get from the water that will provide for your family and provide good, healthy meat for your family.
The freaky geek says don't fish in low waters.
Don't
It's
fish
like
in low waters. I don't understand.
the hydrated waters really low, like slow, I guess.
Mm, I don't
I don't
know.
know, unless he,
I'm not sure, Freaky Geek. All right, guys. I think my thing says we're at like 45 minutes. Does anybody else have any questions? Do you guys want to go a little bit longer? Do we want to close it down for this week and pick it up again next week? We will once the once the once the weather breaks. We'll be doing more videos. I'm liking the live stream thing because this I don't have to go in and sit down and edit a video. YouTube will automatically, once I'm done with this, just automatically put it on my channel for me, and I don't have to spend time in front of my computer editing because time in front of my computer, I only get that maybe once or twice a week, and so I don't spend a lot of time in front of my computer, and that's just not something that I'm not a computer dude. I would much rather do this style of video and have YouTube upload it for me automatically. So I did see a question: laying hens.
Yep.
Um, and just in my experiences, we've had several different breeds of chickens, and the ones that we've had produce best for us were black Australorps. They are laying machines, and I'm considering getting those again, but they're kind of moody. The ones that we had were kind of, they're not real friendly. They want to peck at you and versus Rhode Island Reds lay almost just as well, and they're a lot more mellow, a mellow hen. Just again, my opinion. Maybe I got the crabby hens from that Ocelot batch, but they were pretty crabby. So there you go. I hope that helps.
So yes, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food, uh, I guess probably the better question would be what is not something that I eat. I don't know. I eat. My favorite food is food. I like a lot of it. I'm not. I don't know. I'm just not all that picky. I'm just not all that picky. But I get my absolute favorite thing. If I had my choice to eat, I'm I've always been partial to the old double whopper with cheese. Man, I love the Burger King double whopper with cheese, and every once in a while I treat myself to one. So
Andrew Babcock says, do you tan hide?
I do tan hides. We didn't tan any hides this year. We just didn't have any reason to. The hide market right now is just in the crapper, and I didn't want to tan any hides for no apparent reason. But Joshua, I made a whole series of videos on tanning deer skins and making buckskin leathers and everything from where we skin the animal, fleshing the hide, dehairing the hide, uh, preserving the hide, the method that I use to preserve it, and smoking it. And I do all my hides the same way. Whether I'm going to leave the hair on or not, I do them all the same way. So that you should be able to find that pretty easily on my channel. Just do a video search, working hides or something like that. I think it's called. So, and if you can't find it for some reason, then please feel free to send me a private message on Facebook or something like that, and I will try to get you a link to one. So we're good. We caught up.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we were all caught up for this evening. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and asking questions. So um, I have a video for that as well, Anonymous. I have a video on how we do our rabbit hides. I think it's called Rabbit Hides for Clothing Material, and that'll work. Huh?
It showed that he's fleshing them, go from the bottom, not the top.
Yeah. So, but there's a video out there that we do our rabbit hides as well, and how we use that to make clothing. So, okay, guys, we love you guys. You guys have a great rest of the evening. You know how this is going to end. So you guys have a great rest of the night. God bless. Everybody say it with me. Buzz, buzz. The end.